Good afternoon, everyone. It's Kirsten here from Kirsten Foss Coaching for another Thursday Spa Business Break where we're talking about spa business. So today my topic has to do with money mindset, and I want to bring up the topic of money. Well, it's a usual topic here, but in particular money mindset, because I know that we're getting a little close to tax season. So that means that you are going to be looking at your metrics from last year. You're going to be looking at your sales. You're going to be looking at your expenses, and likely you may be freaking out about some of those expenses because they may be more than what your sales were, despite the fact that you have been working really hard at increasing your revenues. So it ends up being that there's not enough money, there's not enough money at the end of the month, right? So the reason why I want to bring up money mindset is because it really does have quite a great impact on how you earn it, depending on what your money mindset is. And what I'm referring to with money mindset, I'm talking about money belief systems. Now, we broached this topic a few weeks ago when we had my good friend Arnie Peterson, who is a hypnotherapist and a mindset master. We co-taught a online course called, what was it called? Oh, the Burnout Recovery Program at the end of December. And it was in that workshop that we made it really clear, Arnie made it really clear that part of the issue with burnout, with not feeling fulfilled in your career, with not feeling like things are going the way that you want them, feeling like you're not good enough, all of those, whirling thoughts that go through our head have to do with our subconscious mind really running the show. And the fact of the matter is that our subconscious mind runs 95% of how we think, which is really scary because that means that we only really use 5% of our conscious mind is actually active in what we do with our lives. So when we're talking about this in relationship to your spa business, that means that it may be a bit of a red flag if you are truly, working your buns off, trying to apply specific tactics, sales tactics. Maybe you're organizing your business a little differently so that your operations are more smooth, so that your team understands the processes better, so they can sell more products and services. So maybe you have been really working on these things, but you're still finding you're just not earning. What is going on? It's time to start exploring your own money mindset because it quite possibly is sabotaging the work that you're doing. So when I'm also talking about money mindset and money belief systems, I'm really talking about some of the programming that is and the tape recording that is going on inside your head. So there's common belief systems that many of us have, and I am full on, I'm not one to, this has been a struggle for me too in my own life. So this is why I want to bring it up. Now, there's some things that you maybe have caught yourself thinking and you may not realize how much of an impact it's actually having because it's actually part of that belief system that you have. So I've got some examples here that you may have caught yourself thinking over the past years. Well, let's see, where do we start? Okay, number one, maybe you have caught yourself thinking of I just don't handle money well. I'm just not good with numbers. That was a big one for me. And that one started when I was really young, when I was in, when I was in elementary school, when I was in high school, especially when math started getting a little harder, I was struggling and I told myself that I'm just not good at math. In fact, I'm quite dumb at math. And that belief system carried through into my entrepreneurship as a spa owner. And it really hit me in the face when it was time, when I needed to get my shit together with my numbers. And once I learned the steps of how to get organized with my money, how to cash flow forecast, how to look at my metrics and know what I'm looking at in my reports, once I knew that information, all of a sudden I was able to challenge that belief system of I'm not good at math, I'm not good at numbers, I'm stupid at numbers. All of a sudden I got to challenge it because I realized that was actually not true. What was true is I just needed to find the right resource and information to learn how to do it. It had to be relevant to me. And the way that it became relevant was that I found a spa-specific training. So all of a sudden, it's not just kind of boring numbers. It's like it has to actually do with my business. Plus, I was given the instruction of how to break down these numbers, how to analyze these numbers, what to do with these numbers in analysis. So it was a really big wake-up call for me and my own belief systems about money to challenge them. So my own belief systems still pop up about money, and I still have to challenge them. But that's the piece of entrepreneurship that is so important, and that's self-awareness, because it can really shine the light on some stuff that we may not have made the connections on. All right, so what are some other beliefs that you may have about money? Money causes problems. This is a good one. Money causes problems. What kind of problems? Well, when you think about it, you've watched people in your life, maybe family members, maybe friends growing up, friends, family members. Maybe you've witnessed it just watching media, that money causes problems. So if somebody all of a sudden has money, they turn into a different person, or they're not nice people anymore. Or maybe you've identified somebody who had a lot of money and they just weren't a nice person and they caused more problems. So you kind of ended up making these connections that created a belief and then kind of lodged in your subconscious that keeps repeating that same message. Another good one here, I think a lot of us in the spa industry have struggled with, is that there's not enough for everybody. This starts slipping into that feeling like there's competition, feeling that there's a lack of clients. And then once we move into that feeling of lack, it halts all sorts of creativity and ideas and opportunities from us. The fact of the matter is that there is enough for all of us. Another belief system that you may have caught yourself thinking is, I have to work too hard for the kind of money I want. Interesting. Is that actually true? Could there possibly be ways that you could earn the money that you want to earn and not have to work 6-7 days a week? There probably is. You just don't know what it is yet. Another belief system is that, and this has to do with how you identify people with money. You know, I've heard belief systems, people coming up with belief systems like people with money are greedy. I remember hearing that from family members growing up. What about you? Or just, you know, you hear from family members or extended family members, things, kind of snarky little comments about somebody that maybe has made it in their career, maybe they've got more disposable income to spend, but you hear these comments like, oh, must be nice, or, you know, just little snarky comments. And when we are growing up and hearing those land and those stick, and they become belief systems that you don't even know are running the show in the background. So here's the thing, and I'm going to totally credit my friend Arnie Peterson, my friend who is a hypnotherapist and a money mindset master, is that because our subconscious mind is running most of the show, that's that 95% of our thinking, and what we think turns into actions, right? It turns into behaviors. So that when 95% of the subconscious mind is running the show, and only 5% of your conscious mind is running the show, then it has nothing to do with willpower, which I hope that gives you some relief. And what I mean by the fact that it has nothing to do with willpower, it doesn't matter how many tactics you apply to your business, or how much training you have, or how committed you are to your business goals. If you have crappy money mindsets, if you have crappy toxic money belief systems, it will constantly sabotage your success. It will sabotage you in ways like, especially, this is the best way that it sabotages you, is procrastination, right? How many of you, when you start thinking, oh, I need to do my monthly numbers, or I need to get better at looking at my reports, I don't really understand what they mean, but I need to kind of start researching that. How many of you, when you start thinking about that, are like, oh, look, I need to fold laundry? oh, look, I need to do something else. That is a really great tactic, procrastination, that your subconscious mind is throwing at you so that you don't actually try to figure it out any differently or try to challenge those belief systems. So today isn't about giving you more tactics. Today is about starting a conversation with you, and for you to start it with yourself, to start exploring your own belief systems about money. What is it that comes up for you when you think about earning, what's your big, hairy, audacious goal? If you're a solo and you can't seem to get past that $30,000 a year mark and you really want to hit $100,000, start thinking about hitting that $100,000 and start paying attention to what kind of thoughts come up from that. It's really, really interesting. Now, you don't necessarily need to do anything with those thoughts right now, but what I want you to do is to be aware of what they are. Write them down, because that's when you've got them on paper, that's a first step of like, oh, wait, is that actually true? And at that point, you can start exploring whether it's actually true or not. So these are not a quick fix. However, they can be fixed. And this is one of the reasons why I love the work that my friend Arnie Peterson does, is because he is a hypnotherapist. And his job is to, in his work, is to help guide you through a hypnotherapy section, which is really just feels like, as the person receiving it, really just feels like a guided meditation. But through hypnotherapy, the guided meditation that he does, it helps to, the way he described it to me is that it helps to kind of circumvent or keep your subconscious mind kind of a little bit occupied so that we can slip into those, a deeper state, that we can start actually communicating with our subconscious mind and start making some peace with it, start challenging some beliefs, seeing where those beliefs come from, and starting to resolve the pieces of those beliefs and kind of where they started. Really, really fascinating work. And I'm really fascinated to explore how hypnotherapy actually can be used as a performance tool for entrepreneurs. So I am being the tester for that for myself. And I've been working with Arnie with some hypnotherapy, particularly for business performance. So I will let you know how that goes. So far, so good. Feels good when you're in one of those sessions. Feels super relaxed. It's really interesting, the stuff that comes up. All right, I'm curious to know if you have any of those money mindsets that I mentioned, any of those belief systems, did they come up for you as well? And maybe you've got something different. Maybe you have a little tape recording that goes around in your head on a feedback loop that you're like, hey, wait, I didn't actually realize that might actually be a belief system, or it may be a money mindset that actually isn't true and that I actually don't want anymore. So money mindset, it's a fascinating topic. I encourage you to follow Arnie Peterson. His Facebook page is Awareness in Health. He has lots of resources for you on his website as well, awarenessandhealth.com. He actually has a free hypnosis download that you can go right to his homepage. It's right at the top there. You put your name and email in there and it gets sent to you. He's also got lots of YouTube videos that you can check out. So yeah, I love his work. All right, thank you for joining me for today's Spa Business Break, where we're talking about money mindset and how it may be sabotaging your moves in your business. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next week.